So, hello. Test. Testing 1, 2, 3. You good? Yeah? All right. So everybody, we're glad you are here. Happy Purim. We're not starting just yet, but just a few things for those of you that are already gathered in here. Number one, make sure you get, if you'd like, a noisemaker, AKA a grogger. They're in the bin at the beginning of right when you enter the sanctuary. And also, if you are so inclined to have a drink, you are certainly not obligated, but they are here because Purim, it is part of some Purim traditions to get a little bit buzzed. So we actually, Maxi has helped us create a brand new drink for Purim. We call it the Maxi Glamour. And there are ingredients and instructions to make yourself a Maxi Glamour. Doesn't everyone want to have a Maxi Glamour in their lives? So you can make that drink. You can have another drink. There's non-alcoholic options as well. Remember the groggers? They're in a bin somewhere. Where are they? Oh, there they are. The officer over there just grabbed a, there they are. Yeah, you got them, all right. And otherwise, give us about 5 minutes. Let everyone get seated, and we will start our celebration of Purim. We're so glad you guys are here. It's nice to be together. Oh, I know what I want. I want my grandma.
Okay, good. Make sure you have a grogger. Groggers are in the back. Make sure you have a noisemaker if you want one.
have the book right here.
Okay.
All right, my friends, Chevra, we're gonna get started with some preliminaries. Whoa, and some feedback. My middle name is Feedback. It's really not. But we're going to do a few things to start off with before we kind of get into the Megillah and the blessings and Maxi. But all in good time, all in due time. But I felt like I wanted to start with something. It struck me, and I know that Rabbi Karen, Rabbi Daniel, we've all been sort of thinking about this. Before we get into the silliness, something sort of poignant about Purim and about this moment, which is that 3 years ago, Purim 2020, which was early March 2020. Ring a bell, anybody? We gathered here for Purim pretty much like we're gathered now, little different theme and different kind of different cast of characters in a way. But as it turned out, Purim 2020 was the very last time that we had a gathering at CRC before we closed for a year and a half to keep each other safe from the COVID pandemic. So I don't know, it keeps coming back to me. It was so outlandish. It was Purim outlandish that we would close the synagogue. And of course made perfect sense from a public health standpoint. And I'm sure everyone here has your own story of navigating through that time. We've been open now for a bit, but I think I'll never see Purim exactly the same because of that Purim 3 years ago. And one of the things that it makes me think of is that when we gather like this together, I hope, I pray that I never again take it for granted, right? Because I don't know about you, but I missed it. I missed not just, being at synagogue, but, being anywhere in public with people. I love being out and about and seeing people and meeting people and being part of communities, all different kinds of communities. And we had to miss out on that. And now we've sort of figured out, we hope, ways safely to gather again. And it makes the words of the psalm, that we sing, Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad, which literally means how good it is and how pleasant it is when we sit together. This is something that we should always cherish, because we know there can be times where we won't be able to do that, for this reason or that reason. So when we are able, let us rejoice. So the words are Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. It's so good to be together with you. You guys look great. You look fabulous, as Maxi would say. Love your costumes, love your faces, love that we are together. So you might recognize this melody, and there's Hebrew and a little bit of English too. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim shevet achim gam yachad. Gam yachad, sounding good. Hine matov umanayim yeah. Shevet achim gam yachad. Here we go. Ready? One love. That's right. One heart. Let's get together and feel all right. You can do better than that. Ready? One love, oh my. One heart, let's get together and feel all right. It's a Purim theme song. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad hine matov umanayim umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Nicely done. It's good to be together. One more warm-up song, because I know everyone had an opportunity to grab not only a drink if you wanted one, but also a grogger, a noisemaker. So I know many of you know this tradition, but we're going to kind of get warmed up with it. So there is a name, one of the characters in the story that we use the groggers for. The idea is to blot out his name, although the truth is you never can really truly blot out his name because you have to hear his name in order to make the noise. So there's a lesson in there somewhere, right? We need to be on guard, not only for the Hamans that are around us, but also the Hamans that are inside of us. So going along with the slightly reggae theme of One Love, here's a little melody that'll give you some grogger and noise-making practice. So it goes like this. Hey, 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 man. Hey, man. Hey, 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 man. Hey, man. Hey, 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 man. Hey, hey, man. Hey, hey, man. I'll be here all night. Thank you very much. He wanted everybody to bow down. He wanted everybody to serve. That big, big boss man from Shushan, the biggest big mouth in the land. Hey, 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 man. All right, really loud. Hey, 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 man. Hey, man. Hey, 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 man. Hey, man. Hey, 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 man. Hey, hey, man. Hey, hey, man. But Mordecai and Esther did not know how to bow. And they did not know how to serve. Wow, a rhythm section. That big, big mouth from Shushan. The biggest loud mouth in the land. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, man. Hey, 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 man. Hey, man. Hey, 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 man. Hey, man. Hey, 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 man. Hey, hey, man. Hey, hey, man. All right. All right. So, one of the most interesting aspects of Purim is how much the celebration of this holiday mirrors the book of the Hebrew Bible that is its origin, the book of Esther. That story in the Bible is ironic. It's a little R-rated, maybe even R+, if there's such a thing. It's preposterous. It's hyperbolic. It's over the top. And that is exactly how we're supposed to observe Purim. As the story goes on, the story of the book of Esther, we learn to expect the unexpected. And that is a great motto for a successful Purim. Expect the unexpected. But the story is also topsy-turvy, right? It's full of opposites. And so it makes sense that for all its silliness, and Purim can be very silly, it has a serious side as well. That's part of the dichotomy and the opposites. So one of those serious moments is when Mordecai tells Queen Esther that the Jews are in danger and it is time for her to take off her mask and to reveal the fact that she is Jewish to try and save her people. Mordecai says to his niece, "Perhaps the reason you are in this position as queen is for a time such as this." What an incredible lesson for all of us. What's the reason we're here? This time that's so challenging in so many ways in our politics and our society. What's our purpose? What can we do to be present in this moment like Esther was present in hers? And so here we are in this time, a time of creeping repression, when an activity as inclusive, educational, creative, endearing, and fun as Drag Time Story Hour, right, is dragged through the mud, it's under fire and accused of all kinds of things that it just is not. Am I right, Maxi? Just is not. It's not. So having Maxi here, and I want to say their full name because I love it. Maximus Amadeus Glamour, folks. More to come. Having Maxi here as our special guest tonight is perfect for Purim for so many reasons. Dressing in ways that bend or break gender stereotypes on Purim goes a long way back. The Talmud, the ancient collection of Jewish laws, teachings, values, and stories, even addresses what it terms cross-dressing on this holiday, and it concludes that it is not taboo, right? Not taboo. And if, thousands of years ago, the Talmud says it's not taboo, we can say it's awesome. Furthermore, the central mitzvah of Purim is gathering around to hear a story being read, like it writes itself. Drag Queen Megillah hour, right? Like, why didn't we think of it before? And also, the story you're about to hear is filled with what? With queens. And so give it a little time, because we're going to add yet one more queen tonight to the story of Purim. And so Rabbi Karen and I are going to start things off, but we're not going to finish them off. But we are going to start with some blessings. There are 2 blessings that we say on Megillah night, Erev Purim. The first one is a Shehechianu. Every holiday gets a Shehechianu. Shehechianu is a blessing for really special moments. Firsts, birthdays are a good time for Shehechianu, first day of school, all kinds of firsts, On Purim, maybe you can come up with one that I'm thinking of right now, but we'll leave that alone. Oh, you're not thinking that? Okay, well. But for this beginning of Purim, somebody got it. It's a blessing for Lazman Hazeh, for right now. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Let me hear an amen choir. Ready? Keep going. Amen. One more time. Blessed is the Holy One whose presence fills creation, who gave us our lives, who kept us alive, and who brought us to Lazman Hazeh, to this moment, to begin the holiday of Purim. Amen. And then finally, for the specific mitzvah of hearing the story in all the different ways that it's told, you can go synagogue to synagogue, and you won't hear the same, you'll hear the same story, but you won't hear it told the same way in any 2 synagogues. So for that mitzvah that we're all participating in, to hear in the story of Purim being read, it's a mitzvah blessing, just like when you light Shabbat candles or sit in a sukkah or give tzedakah, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, but it ends with al mikra Megillah, the mitzvah of reading and by extension hearing the story from the book of Esther, the story that gave us Purim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mikra Megillah. Amen.
Amen.
So as we get Rabbi Karen and I, we knew that the tradition of Purim was to dress in really kind of awesome costumes. So
Don't you think we did such a good job?
we're pretty awesome.
High five, high five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I've got the smiley emoji, and I'm the king of smiles.
And I got the winky emoji, and I'm the flower fairy winking emoji.
So clearly, we have the best costumes.
Clearly, we won Purim.
Maxi, we have the best costumes that anyone. You guys have good costumes too, but we really kind of carry the spirit of Purim.
Yeah.
Probably better than anyone this side of the room.
Rabbi Randy, tell them how many hours we spent picking these out.
So many hours.
Days even.
Give us a hand.
Days even.
We,
Oh, they love our costumes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Because Rabbi Karen is, of course, a hippie, winking at the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Rabbi Randy, they just love us so much.
I know. Thank
Look
you
at
guys.
this. Thanks, guys.
I'm
We feel
feeling
so
really
good about our costumes.
I've got I feel the love. So I worked hard on this one.
Days.
So it says in the book of Esther, Vayahi bayamei Achashveros hu Achashveros hamelech mehodu ve'ad kush sheva ve'asrim ve'mea medina bayamim hahem b'shevet hamelech Achashveros al kiseh malchuto asher b'shushan habira b'shanat shalom lemalcho asa mishte lechol sarav ve'avodav chayil. Now it came to pass in the days of Achashveros, the same Achashveros who reigned from India as far as Ethiopia, over 127 provinces, that in those days when King Achashveros sat on the throne of his kingdom, in Shushan, the capital, in the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a banquet for all his officers and servants.
גם ושתי המלכה עשתה משתה נשים בית המלכות אשר למלך אחשוורוש. ביום השביעי כתוב לב המלך ביען אמר. And Queen Vashti also gave a banquet for the women in the royal house of King Ahasuerus. And on the 7th day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded, I'm not even going to try it, these 7 eunuchs who attended King Ahasuerus. Where to go?
Keep going. Yep.
Oh. To bring Queen Vashti before the king, wearing the royal crown to show her beauty to the people and to the nobles, for she was beautiful. Do you want me to read that part?
Sure.
But Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's command and conveyed by the eunuchs. This enraged. Do you hear something?
Yeah, this is just some Purim noise, I think.
This enraged the king greatly, and his anger burned inside of him.
I just had a weird dream.
Yeah. I heard this weird noise. I don't know what that was.
It's just, you know what? I think
let's just keep going.
we did have a shot right before.
We did. It just must be that.
Continuing on, still in chapter 1. Imad melech tov yetze davar malchut v'nav v'yaktev bedati paras umadai v'lo ya'avor asher lo tavo Vashti lifnei hamelech Achashveros umalchuta yiten hamelech liruta hatova mimena. It says, if it please the king, let a royal command go out from him, and let it be written into the laws of the Persians and Medes, which no one can revoke, that Vashti can come no more before King Ahasuerus, and we mean come no more when it says that.
It's what it says in the text, people. Come on. Come on.
And Thank you, Maxi. Wait, who touched my face? And let the king give Vashti's royal position to someone who is more worthy.
This is getting interesting. Vayamru na'arei hamelech mishartav yevakshu lamelech ne'arot betulot tovot mareh. And the king's servant who attended him then said, let beautiful young virgins, no joke there, okay? Let the beautiful young virgins let the beautiful young virgins be sought out for the king.
So the word is betulot, and it's I have to tell a little story. In traditional ketubas, it actually mentions about being a virgin, right? And we got married at my wife's conservative synagogue, so we had to use the traditional text. But Rabbi Susan co-officiated our wedding back in 1996 with Amy's conservative rabbi, and Rabbi Susan's job was to read the ketubah, and when she got to the part about, the bride being a virgin, she like rolled her eyes. But that's like,
No comment, Rabbi Randy, no comment.
That's a true story.
No comment.
Anyway, we're getting there. Have I told that before? I didn't. Hana'arot asher tiva b'einei hamelech vayimloch tachat Vashti vayitev hadavar b'einei hamelech va'asa chen. And let the woman who pleases the king be the queen instead of Vashti, and the advice pleased the king. Now in Shushan the capital there was a certain Jewish man whose name was Mordecai, the son of Ja'ar, the son of Shammai, and the son of Kish. They were Benjamites. Like, where's Benjamin? Binyamin. He was here, okay. All right.
Okay. Vayehi omen et Hadassah, that's Esther. He Esther bat dodu ki ein la aveim v'hana'ara yefat to'ar v'tova mar'eh. And he brought up Hadassah, who is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother. The maid was fair and beautiful. And when her parents passed away, Mordecai adopted her as his own.
Okay, here we go. Tilakat Esther et hamelech Achashveros el beit malchuto bechodesh hasheri hu chodesh tevet Bishnat Shava lemalchuto. Ve'yehev hamelech et Esther mikol hanashim v'tisa chen v'chesed lifanav mikol habetulot. There's that word. Vayasem keter malchut berosh shah v'milacha tachat Vashti. Esther was taken to King Achashveros into his royal home in the 10th month, which is the month of Tevet in the 7th year of his reign. And the king loved Esther above all the other virgins, and she won more grace and favor with him than all the virgins, so that the king set the royal crown
Keep saying that word.
Her head, Esther's head, and made her queen. Something's happening. I'm just a sweet transvestite. Oh wait, that's the wrong movie. And made her queen instead of Vashti. So Esther is queen, and there's something happening here, but I don't know what it is. Do you, Mr. Jones?
I think, look at this. There are more queens here, Rabbi Randy.
Yeah, I'm on the flyer. I thought I was going to tell this story.
Oh, I think
we need to make
You don't think we're doing a good job, Maxi?
This is not a fabulous Purim.
Rabbi Randy, do you hear what they're saying
do.
about us?
We have some Jewish space lasers to set the mood right.
I think we're gonna get out of the way and let Maxi tell the rest of the story.
Wait a minute. Let me make you more fabulous.
You want to make me more fabulous?
Autumn, can we get some music, please?
Can we get some music
RuPaul, maybe? I like a little RuPaul. That's what I'm thinking.
Let's try this stuff. Wait, hold on.
Stroll down the runway.
I kind of feel like
Another
I feel not a king or a queen, but a prince.
And when they see me, they wanna be me. I am a fantasy.
Gonna party like it's
Cover girl,
57, 90.
put the bass in your walk. Can't you tell Breakfast Chinese, red carpet TV, valet my limousine, box office sweetie, an Oscar nominee. Now watch me snatch trophies.
Turn it up, Autumn!
Put the bass in your walk, head to toe, let your whole body talk. Cover girl, put the bass in your walk, head to toe, let your whole body talk. Walk, now walk, 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 walk.
Continue the story. Okay, where were we? Esther was the queen. Where's my drink? Also, there's plenty of chairs if anyone wants to come up closer.
Come on, it's story hour, people. I don't want to be lonely up here.
This is an ancient scroll. We found it at the History Museum, and it is on loan. So where were we? Esther just became the queen, and King Ahasuerus, that's how you say it, right? Great. Hold on, that's the end of the story. Let's start at the beginning. They put all these papers out of order. Wait 1 second. Where did that music go?
Payday, cover of Mag.
18, 19. Oh, okay. So where were we? Esther just became the queen, and it was great, and that's the story. But wait, there really is more, and there really is more, and I'll let you know. Yes, and there was a circumcision at the ending, and the priest had a nice cocktail, and it was a great party. Back to it. So Esther, she became the queen, and Mordecai was sitting outside of the palace every single day, walking back and forth, looking at the most beautiful men, women, and non-binary people. And the king loved Esther more than all of the other women, men, non-binary people combined. And then two men, I'll call them Big Thong and Teresh, they worked at the palace, and they were angry at the king. One day, when Mordecai was walking by the palace gate, he heard them talking. Big Thong said, that's how you pronounce it, Big Thong.
Big thong.
Big Thong, not to be confused with Dip Thong.
Or did thong.
Yes. Big Thong said, I'm angry at the king. Teresh said, I'm angry at him too. Let's kill him. Mordecai told Esther, who told the king, who told his guards. The king was saved. Big Thong and Teresh were hung.
Oh, no! That's not the last hanging in the story.
I hope there's a lot more hung men. And Mordecai's name was written in the official king's book.
The annals.
That's the annals.
The annals. So a decree from Ahasuerus, the king, everyone in the palace must bow down to Haman. But Mordecai refused to bow down. The servant said to him, why won't you bow down? Why won't you obey the king's command? Mordecai responded, I'm a Jew. From that day, Haman hated all Jews. He decided to kill them all. He had his servants throw Purim to pick the day on which Jews would die. They chose the 13th of the month of Adar.
Wait a minute. That was yesterday.
It was, but today's a new day. He then went to the king. Haman said, "There is a people who live all over your kingdom." That's how he talks. "They have their own laws. They don't follow the king's laws. They should all be killed. I will pay you 1,000 pieces of silver if you let me be in charge." King Ahasuerus said, "Well, here's my royal ring. Keep your money and do what you want to these people."
Wow.
Not a good king.
Thrown under the bus.
This is why we like democracy. A decree from Ahasuerus the king: on the 13th day of the month of Adar, every Jew in my kingdom should be killed. King Ahasuerus said, "Haman, let's have a drink and make..." Okay, yeah. When Mordecai heard the king's decree, he acted as if someone had died. He put on sackcloth and ashes and went out to the streets shouting and crying. Soon, all the Jews in the kingdom were fasting, shouting, crying, and wearing sackcloths and ashes. Esther's maid said, "Your cousin Mordecai is running all over town in sackcloth and ashes," to which Esther responded, "Take these new clothes to Mordecai." She's a sex bot, if you couldn't tell.
That's why she's queen.
We won't talk about how she got there. Woo. Knock my hat off. And we haven't even gotten to the golden scepters.
Oh, yes, we have.
Oh, we have. But Mordecai would not take the new clothes. Mordecai said, "Haman has made the king order the killing of all Jews. You must go to the king."
Wait, all Joes or Jews?
The same thing. Esther said, "I can't go. No one can go to the king unless he sends for them. Anyone who goes to the king without being invited is killed. Only if the king decides to hold out his golden scepter does the person live." Mordecai said, "Don't you think that you will escape? All Jews will be killed." Esther said, "I will go to the king, but you must ask all the Jews in Shushan to fast for 3 days. My maids and I will also fast."
We'll fast, we'll do it.
Very fast. 3 days later, Esther went to see the king. She had not been invited. When the king saw her, he tipped his golden scepter.
Intermission.
And with consent, Esther touched it. King Ahasuerus said, "Esther, baby, what you want? I'll do anything for you. I'll even give you half of my kingdom." Esther said, "All I want is to have the king and Haman to come to a party." King Ahasuerus said, "Your wish is granted." The king and Haman came to the party. They had a good time. All three of them. And the king offered Esther another wish. And Esther said, "All I want to do is have the king and Haman come to another party." But I think we should have a party. So let's pause this ancient text. Let's part this like the seas, and then let's have a little soul train line to show them how we and the 21st century party. DJ.
So yeah, if you want to participate, you can line up on this side. This side.
Y'all are familiar with Soul Train? Wonderful. So for all of those who are willing to stand up and go down the Soul Train line and showcase your amazing outfits, get on up. I see you. Get in line. Get in the Soul Train. I'm looking right at you. Come on, Soul Train.
Some bottom so that the dancer just won't hide. You might like to hear my organ. I said right, right now. If I could hear the horns blow, Cynthia on the throne, listen to me, Cynthia and Jerry got a message that said, all the squares, listen to the voices.
Well, I guess it's back to the Megillah reading. What do you think? Where were we? So Esther had a threesome with Haman and King Ahasuerus, and she had another one, and then and another one. Once you go Haman, you don't go back. Some of those seemed a little too happy. Aren't you supposed to boo Haman? There's a dichotomy. I understand. We all have toxic exes. I can relate. The yin and the yang. Let's talk about the yang. So when Haman left the party, he felt good. He felt special that the queen had invited him. When Haman walked home and saw Mordecai in the palace, Mordecai would not bow down. Haman, he got angry. Oh yeah. Hi. It's just text. It's so big. I can barely, you might not. Well, speaking of hung, Haman, when he was angry, he ordered for more men to be hung. There's that dichotomy. And he ordered that Mordecai were to be hung, which is implying that he wasn't already. That night, the king could not sleep. He couldn't, clearly. He said, "Bring me my official book and read it to me." And what was that book called? He could not sleep because he needed anal. And so the servant said that Mordecai saved the king's life. And King Ahasuerus said, "What was done for him?" The servant responded, "Nothing." Right, he needs his flowers. So the king sent for Haman. King Ahasuerus said, "What should be done for someone the king really wants to honor?" Haman thought that the king was going to honor him, and so which he responded in his iconic voice, "I would have dressed him in the king's best robes with a crown on his head, like this. I would have placed him on the king's horse and led him through the streets by one of the king's advisors. I would have had the advisor shout out, 'This is a man that the king wants to honor.'" It really is. He's a jerk. But he still got some, so we can't get too mad. The king then said, "Go and do that for Mordecai." Haman was not happy because he wanted his flowers. Haman said, "This is the man the king wants to honor." And then they went to the second party. Clearly they weren't too mad. The king said to Esther, "Esther, what do you want? I'll do anything for you, even give you half of my kingdom." Esther said, "Someone wants to kill me. Please save my life." And then this is when she took off her mask and revealed that she was a Jew. Because sometimes we all have to hide our identity, but it feels so much better when we can be our true selves, when we can be who we are meant to be. And this is the coming of age story when Esther says, "I am a full-fledged lesbian. I like the threesome, but it's not enough." And then she told her husband that Haman was trying to kill her. Then a servant came in and said, "Haman has made huge gallows, which he was going to use to hang Mordecai because he wasn't hung enough." Whoa. At the threesome or at the beginning? Anyways, so Mordecai wasn't hung, so they were trying to hang him even more. And then King Ahasuerus said, "We should hang Haman on that instead." And King Ahasuerus said, "I give Esther everything that used to belong to Haman. I give my royal ring to Mordecai. He can use my power to save the Jews." Yeah. And then the messenger came and said, "A decree from King Ahasuerus on the 13th of Adar, Jews should fight to defend themselves." Yes. Y'all need to be a little bit more happy about fighting to defend yourself. Let's try that one more time. On the 13th of Adar, Jews should fight to defend themselves. That's a revolutionary chant. It is a little, yeah. Wait, who's telling this story? And every year, Jews should celebrate the 14th of Adar as a holiday called Purim. They should send gifts to each other and give tzedakah to the poor. They should tell the story of what happened here. Mordecai, the Jew, became the king Ahasuerus' chief advisor. He brought peace to the kingdom. And that's the story.
All right. Let's hear it for our storyteller, our Megillah teller, the wonderful Maxi Glamour, Maximus Amadeus Glamour, chief rabbi of this moment. So here's the thing. So this is the deal with Purim coming one moon, literally one full moon before Passover, is this. You know, just like Mardi Gras, just like peoples from all traditions have to let off steam, have to try to do liberation the shortcut way. This is liberation the shortcut way, right? You know, drinking a little bit, feeling happy, goofing off, screaming and yelling, parades, dancing. That's, you know, we need some of that. That's liberation the easy way, but it's not how we change the world, you know. Maybe gives us a little boost so we can go on and change the world, but it's Passover. That tells us really how to do liberation. It says that we don't leave anybody behind. It says that we make sure that we tell the stories, the stories that really motivate us to work for liberation of all people, of everybody. So that's sort of, we carry the Purim spirit in the next month, knowing that the hard steps are still ahead of us, and I think we all know that. But it's been good to have fun with y'all. So if everyone stands, if you're able, we're going to stand together. We generally end services, as many of you know, by putting our arms around each other and saying a blessing from the Torah. But my friends, it's Purim. Oh, you know what we forgot, Maxie?
What?
We forgot questions and answers.
Oh my God.
Oh, sit. Yeah. Hold on. Back. You're on, Max. We'll do the blessing in just a second. We got something special.
Hi.
Maxi Glamour, everybody.
Check. Oh, it works. Where was I at the beginning of the story? I'm joking. Do we have any questions? I was supposed to make room for those.
We have question and answer for our amazing queen of the night, Maxi Glamour.
Oh, you're also a queen.
Anything you always wanted to know from a drag queen, but we're afraid to ask. You should have no fear at CRC.
We got a question right there.
Where's that? I see you.
Oh my.
For our friends on the stream, especially. Oh, that's an awesome. You guys have such great costumes.
Can you tell us about your outfit tonight? It is amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is a beaded dress I got in Brooklyn, and this is a Cleopatra outfit. I decided I wanted to look like contemporary to Esther, so I was like, Cleopatra and Esther, they weren't too far off, so I'm just gonna smudge it a little bit, and here we are.
You know, one of the things that's amazing when Maxi, knowing that this is Maxi's signature look, when you leave synagogue, I know many people are here. How many people are here for the first time at CRC? Yeah, so we're so glad you're here. You are a blessing, such a blessing, really. That's right. You know what? It kind of is. But there's a mosaic on the floor when you're kind of having your Hamantashen and kind of having a little schmooze time. The mosaic was created by an artist named Siona Benjamin, who's a Jewish woman from India. And we became very close to Siona. She was here just a few weeks ago. We did a trip to India with their congregation, and Siona was one of the leaders. And of course, going by the Hindu and Indian tradition that she grew up with, many of the faces of the characters that you'll see on the floor have blue faces. And we also made sure there were a diversity of faces because we want everybody to feel included here. So check that out. There's even Queen Esther, you'll see, is on the floor at the part that's Purim. But also, on the wall that connects to the kitchen, Siona did something else that not everyone sees because it's a little bit tucked away. It's not as prominent as the mosaic. But there's a scroll. The book of Esther is also written in a scroll, kind of like the Torah scroll, but it's called a Megillah. These are 5 books that are connected with 5 different Jewish holidays, and of course the Book of Esther is associated with Judaism. There's a scroll, the Book of Esther, that Siona Benjamin, our artist friend from India, drew the story of Purim in her very iconoclastic, unique style over the Megillah scroll. It's painted beautifully. So check that out too. It's perfect for Purim. So another question for Maxi. Yes.
Oh boy. Okay. I'm curious. How long does it take you to put on your makeup?
Oh.
Because in RuPaul's, everyone has variety hours. I'm just curious because you did a lot of time on it and it looks gorgeous.
Thank you for that question. That's my pageant answer. Thank you for that question. It really depends on how much time that I have. If I have 6 hours, I'll spend 6 hours procrastinating and 30 minutes putting on makeup. I like to give myself at least 2 hours to do makeup. I think this was like 2 hours exactly.
Oh, here we go. Neon.
Can you talk a little bit about like your first drag performance or like
Whoa.
yeah, like what was like your first like time performing and how did it feel and all that type of stuff?
My first time performing or my first time performing drag? Yes. I was in concert band and like symphony and like punk bands like in high school, middle school, and that really like led to like me wanting to have a desire to be on stage. And I think in 2009 I performed at the Complex. Anybody know the Complex? Yeah. It's a gay bar that is gone. It was wonderful. I did an amateur show. It was so good. Let's make some noise for the Complex. But I showed up there for this event and I was dressed up in like crazy costume. And they said, you should do this amateur drag competition. And I did, and I lost everyone since. And that was 14 years ago, and I'm still losing.
Hey, you won Purim.
Is it a competition?
We have one more question before we...
We got several.
Wait. Oh, okay. Oh, it's Binyamin.
Great costume. So what is your takeaway from the story of Esther? What did you learn?
Ooh. There's one, don't have threesomes with horrible men. Wow. You should have asked me before I started drinking. Because I had an answer. I think the story of Esther really talks about like how sometimes we need to confront with like our identities. A lot of times we look at like people in the media who haven't came out yet, who could be like great like champions for like queer rights, and sometimes they're like stuck in the closet behind things. And so like being a champion for like marginalized people sometimes means that you're standing up with them. Also understanding that how we all can be complicit in holding back our own people, and so we need to like look internally to make sure that we are not keeping ourselves on the plantation. And that's what I got in my drunken splendor.
It's really what they say about the drinking thing on Purim, and certainly there's other ways to get to that place. You don't have to drink. Some people choose that route, others don't. But what the tradition says is you're supposed to get so drunk or crazy or stoned or whatever you're right or high on life that you can't any longer temporarily tell the difference between Haman and Queen Esther or Mordecai, right? Because it gets all mixed up. Who's good, who's bad, who's right, who's wrong. And so it really, we to get that place of confusion should lead us to greater clarity. That's really it. So, right? Thank you.
That was gonna be my answer, but he took it.
Oh, we have another question? We done? Okay.
Is there somewhere locally we can catch your drag act?
Oh. Let me think. Yeah, I host an event called Faded, it's a music spectacular dance party focused on femmes, queers, and people of color, making sure that we focus them on stages. The next one is May 13th at the Steel Mill. We just rented the space. Then Terra Tacos. I will be doing a drag brunch there. And if you like vegan tacos, I just do anything, anywhere that people will let me. I like to be invited, and so,
We've got one more, but also I think it goes without saying that question's a perfect question, but also for you to know that in this time of just irrational prejudice and hatred and laws that don't make any sense, we have your back, really and truly.
Thank you.
Someone had a question back here. Anyone? No? Okay.
There was a question back there.
I know,
the
I thought
dinosaur.
there was, but they might have. Oh yeah, okay. You're the last. The dinosaur.
The last of their
It's
kinds.
funny because in the spirit of Purim, the dinosaur was first, but now the dinosaur is last. I'm not sure. I don't even know what I just said, but it felt.
I'm drunk enough for both of us. I'm extinct anyway. I'm a fossil. So all I wanted to know was about your crown. It's absolutely magnificent, as are you.
Oh.
And I want you to tell us about how you made it and the imagery. And, it's sort of papal, but we're not.
So I'm a haberdasher. I have a collection of about 100 hats that I've created. A lot of them are from upcycled materials. This one is from a pair of pants that I really love the design. And so I made a pair of shorts, and then I made this hat out of cardstock. And then I adhered the fabric to it, and I wore it to the World Naked Bike Ride, which is an amazing event. And that's this costume outfit, my hat.
Beautiful, beautiful. So as I was saying, let's all stand together if you're able. Don't be safe tonight. Designated drivers are a thing, and take care of each other. So as I said, we often end our services just like Marilyn and Janet are doing. We put our arms around each other, and we say words from the Torah. But it's Purim, so instead, Autumn, you ready for it? Let's